Texas A&M at Miami. A&M last week offensively, pretty dang impressive, 52 points. You think about what they did last year in 3 non-conference games. They scored 51 points against FBS opponents. So they have already outdone, one game into the Bobby Petrino era, anything they did last year. The keys to this game: can Miami stretch the field offensively? Last week, it was against a ton of soft coverage. Guys were dropping deep, trying to keep it in front. And as a result, Tyler Van Dyke, 15 of his 22 attempts, traveled less than 10 yards downfield. So this was a quick, short passing attack, taking what the defense gives you. So he really only tried 2 attempts that went over 20 yards. One was intercepted. The other was a 26-yard gain. So it's going to be really important for them, I think, to stretch the field. I think they have the receivers to do it. And that's going to be, I think, a big part of what Miami's trying to do in this game. The other question that I have in this game: how does Lance Guidry, the new defensive coordinator, how does he match up his defensive backs against what is one of the deepest, most talented wide receiver cores in the entire country? Texas A&M, let's just go through it. Evan Stewart, crazy fast, crazy explosive, crazy polished, really well-rounded, excellent hands. Evan Stewart would be on most teams the number 1 wide receiver. Outside of maybe Ohio State and a handful of others, he would maybe be everyone's number 1 wide receiver. He's amazing. But they've now had Noah Thomas, who we've told you all offseason about, 6'6", 200 pounds. He's a guy that's really broke out in week 1, 74 yards and 3 touchdowns. You know he's going to be a guy that they focus on with that length in the red zone. But not to be outdone, Moose Muhammad and Aniyah Smith, very dependable veterans. Moose Muhammad, more of a traditional wide receiver, but Aniyah Smith is just a football player. He'll play some slot. He'll probably play some running back. He'll probably motion from the slot back into the backfield. He'll probably motion in the backfield out to the slot. He's going to be the guy that they probably try to move around and create some issues for the defense with. Lance Guidry, though, he has done a really good job over the course of his history in creating issues for opposing quarterbacks. At Marshall last year, the Herd ranked 3rd in the country last year in pass efficiency defense. They trailed only Penn State and Illinois. Marshall ranked tied for 15th nationally in opponents' yards per passing attempt, meaning they only allowed 6.4 yards per attempt last year. So by comparison's sake, just so you understand how good that is, Miami was 117th last year in that category. They gave up 8.3 yards per attempt. So it's going to be interesting to see how he devises a scheme to neutralize what should be a significant advantage for the Texas A&M Aggies. The good news is he does have a lot of experience on the perimeter. We know their 2 safeties are excellent. Cam Kitchens, one of the best in college football. They also have an excellent box safety as well that can get involved down at or near the line of scrimmage. But Devontae Brown, 1,900 career snaps. Corey Couch, 1,773 career snaps. Jaden Davis, 1,539 career snaps. And Darrell Porter, 952 career snaps. So there's a lot of experience out there on the perimeter, and they have a really difficult draw against obviously excellent wide receiver personnel for the Aggies. I lean the Aggies here. I think their talent is superior, even though I think Miami has improved drastically from where they were a year ago. I'm still not sure they're quite to the point where they can close the gap with the Aggies. You know, I love that group this year. And I think the offensive line, if they can play like they played last week and Connor Wigman can distribute the ball as quickly as he did last week, they should be in a pretty good position to find success, especially on run after catch situations. So I lean Aggies. I'd lay the points. I think it's going to be a good win for the Aggies and Jimbo Fisher.